What's up, everybody? 289 coming at you today. We have another One Piece chapter review, and this time it was One Piece chapter 1056. And really good chapter here. We're finally getting on a Wano, it looks like, and we got a little bit more information about other things that are transpiring outside of Wano and out in the real world. And we're getting some information about the One Piece a little bit, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. If you guys can't do me a favor, dislike the video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. We'll have more One Piece content coming up. It just helps the channel grow, and I can just do more stuff. So I would really, really appreciate if you guys do that for me. And as I climb my ranks in the One Piece manga chapter world, we start with this chapter. We finally get a cover spread, and it's Oven and Katakuri looking fresh as always. Katakuri looking like the coolest character in One Piece ever still, and they're gonna fight the Germa. Let's see how that culminates within the next couple of weeks. And then we cut to Wano, and we finally see Raizo. We finally see Shinobu. They're like shriveled up raisins or whatever because of what Green Bull did to them, sucking out their nutrients or whatnot. And they just look hilarious. Like Raizo looks like the funniest one of all. He just looks like this dried up raisin with sticks coming out of his head. And they just look hilarious here to me. It's just funny to see them like this. The other thing they mention here is they do mention that Green Bull made a point that Kaido's presence did keep others threats at bay. And to some degree, that's true. I mean, to a lot of it, actually. I mean, he was there and nobody from the government wanted to come by and stop him or attack him or anything. They basically the government saw it as keeping the peace. He's never going to get the Pluton. And, they didn't want to fight Kaido because they didn't want to waste resources trying to take down a giant tyrant who's really strong. And it was like a win-win for the government and everybody else, really, except for the people that lived in Wano, by the way. They lived terribly. And, it's just one of those things. There's just saying out there is it's better to deal with the devil you know than the devil you don't, right? And that's the point that I believe Oda's trying to make here. But again, Wano's in a better place and free, so who cares? At this point, hey, it is what it is. They have to figure out how to protect their country better and to keep them out. And that's where the Scabbards and everybody else comes into play. It's all about building strength and training and getting stronger and defending their country, right? And it starts with Momonosuke. Momonosuke needs to become stronger. So, anyways, so let's continue with the chapter. Kinemon wasn't around for the battle because he was with Suru in I forgot what country they're in, Ringo, I think, or something like that. I'm not too sure. So they went there, and Okabota Town, that's what it is. And they went there, and, he hasn't seen her in 20 years. He didn't even see her before he went to battle. So I guarantee, there was some stuff going on when he saw her. And of course, nothing happened to Suru because, there was a fire there. She survived it. She did get a little burn mark, but that's okay. She's still alive, and that's important. You know what I mean? He hasn't seen his wife in 20 years, and of course, all those feelings are. You guys know the deal. He wasn't there because he was tending to business with Suru. You know what I'm saying? So that's good, man. I'm glad to see those two happy, and he finally get to see his wife after all these years. And it's always good to see that, and I'm really happy for Kinemon. And now, like I said, it still doesn't make sense. Now it all makes sense why he didn't die, right? I don't think he was supposed to. Him seeing his wife was important and all that. So, it's good to see that, man. I'm really, really happy for those two characters. And they get to move on from here and live the rest of their lives out happily, hopefully, right? So, from there, Inuyasha and Nekomamushi, they go and call in Carrot. And they basically let Carrot know that Carrot is going to be running Zou, or basically the ruler of Mokomo Dukedom, which is, I believe, Inuyasha's kingdom. So, which is cool, right? So now she's going to be a ruler, and of course she takes it or whatever. She's going to rule Zou. And of course she has concerns because, hey, she doesn't feel strong enough or up to the task, to run an entire country. And if people are going to respect her and, she's going to protect Zou. We'll see what happens from there. I mean, of course, the Three Musketeers are there to protect her and help her out, along with Carrot. I mean, not Carrot, Wanda. Wanda's there to protect her as well and to give her advice and to help her run, just effectively rule over Zou and make sure nothing happens, right, basically. And, of course, there's a giant elephant that's there that can wipe out ships with no problem. So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be just all right. I think they'll be just fine. And the bright side of this is, like, Carrot is not going to be on the Straw Hat Crew. I know a lot of people have been wanting that. Me, I'm like, no, but I don't care if she became a member. If she did, I'm like, whatever. For me, happy. Um, I think I have the crew that I want at this point, right? I got Jinbei. We got, we're possibly gonna get Yamato. We don't know yet, right? So I like the crew that we have now. I think Carrot would have just not been the greatest, right? In my opinion. Um, so that's really cool though. She got to step up. She got an upgrade. She's gonna be able to run Zoe, and I think she'll do a pretty good job, right? And of course, they mentioned Pedro's will that she has that, and God, rest in peace, Pedro. And he didn't come back to life. He didn't get pelled, everyone. Pedro, you always forget about him and the sacrifice he made for the crew and everyone like that. It was such a wonderful thing that you're going back and looking at it now that Pedro's not back and all that. Really good scene. If you ever want to go reread or rewatch that, really good stuff. So then from there, we get a glimpse of Zoe and all that. And Zoe, I mean, like, what is it? Like, here's the deal. Was Zoe still out in the middle of the ocean and then projecting himself onto Wano? Like, what is that? Like, was he at Wano, like, physically there? Or did he, like, project himself somehow with hockey? Or, like, is it his Delver? I don't know. Like, I was just confused by that. So, like, maybe we'll get some more information down the line. Like, who knows? I don't know at this point. But I'll just say this, like, Zoe's gonna be okay. I mean, Zunisha's there, right? Zoe's gonna be okay. It is what it is. It's just funny to me that Zunisha was just here, and then it's just not, right? Like, interesting. I still think Zunisha has something to do with breaking down the borders and unlocking Pluton. I still think there's something there, right? That piece of the puzzle that we didn't get. So I still think Zunisha is going to destroy the borders, and then Pluton awakens, and then done deal. So, of course, Sukiyaki introduces himself to his grandkids, which is really cool. So then now they know they have a grandfather, they have someone else in their family bloodline that they can talk to, relate to, and it's really cool, man. These kids have not had a father for God knows how long, because of what happened, tragically to Odin, and then to the wife. It sucks, man. You know what I mean? So now they have a grandfather, someone who can guide them with a little bit of wisdom, and someone they can relate to, right? A family member, someone who's a part of the Kozuki clan, and that's really really cool, and that's really interesting. I love to see that they have like basically a father figure now. Even though they did with Kinemon, but now this is someone who raised Odin and can impart some wisdom. I hope the part of wisdom that he imparts on them is good advice and not what he did to run this country. I mean, he got bamboozled by Orochi and all that, and it's just embarrassing. But hopefully they gives him good advice and learning from his mistakes. And it seems like he has. It seems like he's done a lot of growing over the past 20 years and could probably guide Kinemon and Hiyori to run this country better than he ever did, and to not get tricked by another Kudozumi again. And of course, the Scabbards see Sakayuki, and they didn't put two and two together. They knew that this guy was special, but they didn't know who he was, right? And that means that mask that he had was pretty good. Nobody could recognize him, so that's awesome. So, of course, he tells them, listen, the people don't need to know I'm alive. Only you and my family need to know who I am, and that is it. And that's a good decision. The people are probably pissed off at Sukiyaki. We don't need any more of that, right? We just got Wano back. We just put two and two. We're moving forward, and we don't need to remember anything about the past, and we don't need to rub anyone the wrong way. We don't need to piss anybody off at this point. So I like that decision from Sukiyaki. He's just showing his wisdom where he's at, and I think this is going to be really good going forward for Wano. From there, we cut to the straw. I mean, Robin mentions about Pluton, that it's here, and of course Frankie's shocked, because back in Water 7 he had the blueprints for Pluton, and then he burnt them in that iconic scene and all that. I still think personally the Sunny was inspired by Pluton in some way, especially for the Coupe de Burst. So that might just give us a hint as to what Pluton could do. Maybe he could fly. I don't know, something. So anything that gives us a hint of what Pluton is. And so, of course, hey, really exists. Maybe he, at some point he was like, these are just blueprints for a ship. He probably didn't even think it was real. You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't think it was real and all that. So, that's really interesting. That's cool for him. You know, he's come around full circle from that, and that's really awesome and interesting. And of course, Luffy remembers him torching the blueprints for that. And Robin asks, "Do you want it?" And he says no, and that's an obvious answer from Luffy. Luffy's not here to grab the weapons to do whatever he needs to do. Um, but they do mention that Odin wanted to unleash it, and they don't know why. And I think why Oda didn't unleash Pluton here was that he wants us to find out why Odin wants to open up the borders, right? Because opening up the borders is a dangerous thing. The world government had get access to you, and then Pluton's unleashed and does whatever. And then here's the thing: the government want Pluton. They want that weapon. Either they're to just destroy it or use it to just own people. You know what I'm saying? Like having the world government isn't enough for them. They just want to go ham with that thing. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't think we're gonna see it until we find out why Odin wanted to unleash it. So I think we're a couple of years away from unleashing Pluton, unfortunately. And Shinobu shows up younger than ever, so it looks like some positives came out of her life force being sucked out. She's now young again somehow, and it's really interesting. It's really cool. And of course, Sanji's going crazy looking at Shinobu, and from there, Otama's training with Shinobu to become a Shinobi, which is really nice, which is really cool, really interesting. Of course, Luffy mentions when I come back, ninjutsu, you can become a part of my crew, right? I mean, who knows how long? I think Luffy's just gonna find the One Piece and then from there be done with his journey, whether he dies or goes off into the sun or just goes into an island and just lives the rest of his days just being him, right? Who knows, right? So, I can imagine we're not going to see Otama join Luffy's crew at any point. I think once he finds the One Piece and everything, I think he's done, right? I think his journey's finished. He's completed. Um, Whether he dies or just goes off into an island, just lives the rest of his days with Boa Hancock or something, we'll see, right? But so from there, of course, that slimy Caribou is sitting behind there, and they're talking casually about Pluton, and of course he mentions he's going to mention this to somebody. Now, I personally think this dude is possibly an informant to Blackbeard, right? Like, it has to be, right? Because who else would gain from knowing about Pluton, right? And I hope we don't sit here and wait another 2 years to find out who he's giving us information to. I hope next chapter we get into this nonsense here. Because this is crazy. Like, this is dangerous information to give to any pirate who's just evil out there, just doing whatever the hell they want. Like, so apparently Pluton's here, and Caribou's going to mention it to somebody. I think it's Blackbeard. I think he's going to get on Namushi, tell him, and we're screwed. So, of course, we cut to Momonosuke. A few days have passed. And he's getting all the all the paperwork, all the deeds, all everything. What's going on in the village. Restoration's been complete, and he's all like, "This is what's been calculated for the funds for everything and all that." And of course, Momonosuke is like, "Yeah, this is cool." And being a shogun, he's just walking around listening, and people are talking to him. And of course, all he cares about is hanging out with the Straw Hats, right? Like it's like everybody does. And and it's like, okay, I want to hang out with them. I want Zoro to teach me how to fight with a sword, right? And Zoro's gone. It looks like Zoro's been helping him out a little bit with his moves for the past couple of days too, which is really interesting. He's going to go see Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Jinbei, Yamato, right? And everybody's gone. They've left, man. I mean, this is the end, right? And of course he talks to Hyodo. He says like they left earlier, and they're gone. You know what I mean? And they've taken off, and they're gonna go enjoy themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're done. And it's like you ever feel like you ever have family over that you really like? You come to your house, and then hey, you're having a really good time, you're doing your thing, and then all of a sudden they're just gone, and then you just spend your time like that day that they're gone, you're just kind of like sad, right? And you're kind of just bored. And you're like, damn man, like they're really never, I have to wait like another 2 or 3 years to go see these people again. Like, damn man, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? That's how he feels right now, and you get it, man. We've been here for so long, and he's been around the crew for so long, and he feels like he's a family to them, right? And and the Straw Hats are fun people. Like, who wouldn't want to hang out with the Straw Hats, right? So, really cool. And they said their goodbyes and they're heading out. We cut to the port, And of course, they're trying to figure out, because here's the thing, like, Law, Kid, and Luffy obviously are rivals, but you know, it's in a way where like they like each other, but they don't want to admit it because they're rivals. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, I mean, we're rivals again. Like, yeah, we should leave different days. Basically, that's what they're saying here. And of course, Luffy's like, I already decided to leave today, man. Like, I'm out of here today. I ain't leaving no other day. I'm gone. I want to go out and do my own thing. I'm done here. And Kid comes up with the idea to pick for them to pick different routes, and you see a log post. The log post is pointing in three different directions, right? And it's three different paths for these three different characters, and they're going to be really important later on. I think this is a sign they're going to be really important later on. I think they're all going to do their own thing, going their own direction. I think it's all going to come together again at some point once they go through these three paths that the log post is pointing to. And they're going to put them on islands that whatever, right? So, of course, they all pick a direction, right? They all do it at the same time. And, of course, Kid and Luffy pick the same one. They go east, and Law picks northeast. And he's like, yeah, I guess I'm set. Like, you guys figured the hell out about this other spot. And they drew straws, and Law is going to be going east, and Luffy's going to be going southeast to a different island. Who knows where they're going, right? So that's what's happening there. And of course Luffy mentions he's an emperor and all that. I should have priority. You know what I mean? This is bullcrap. I can't believe there's a straw bet or whatever. And and of course what they're pissed off with, and what they're pissed off about, what Kid's pissed off about, is Buggy the Clown. Now we know why Buggy's an emperor. Buggy formed a crew, and I don't know how the hell he did this, with Dracula Mihawk and Crocodile. How in the hell did Buggy the Clown convince Hawkeye Mihawk, who this seems out of character for Hawkeye, and Crocodile, and they're calling it Cross Guild? How in the hell? So, I mean, Kid is really pissed off about it, and I'd be really pissed off about it too. Who knows how he did this, and what kind of convincing he did to do this, to get this done. This is insane. And please, Oda, cut to Buggy. Please, next chapter, cut to Buggy. Like, get Yamato out of the crew, cut to Buggy. So we can find out what the hell happened here. Because this is just weird, right? Because Zoro's like, that doesn't seem like Hawkeye. Like, why did Hawkeye do that? Like, does he need protection? Like, what happened to him? Like, who was going after Hawkeye that he felt like he needed comfort and, like, to join this crew so that whatever, and then that just made Buggy emperor, right? Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, that's a strong crew, man. Crocodile and Hawkeye, of all people. And of course, Law's like, if he's capable of commanding people like this, then he's worthy of an emperor. Luffy, this is why I love Luffy as a character. Like, he's silly, he's goofy, he's got those Goku traits, but he knows what's going on. He's not dumb, right? Like, and he goes, trust me, he's just a moron. Like, he knows that Buggy's full of crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a moron. He just wants to know what the heck happened and why they're following Buggy of all people, because Buggy's an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I love about Luffy. He's like, that dude's a moron. He's weak. He gets lucky, basically. It's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, Luffy knows that. And, and what we find out here is that Cross Guild is issuing bounties out to Marines. So now he's issuing bounties out to them. So, if you get these Marines, and this is really, actually, if Buggy came up with this idea, I don't think so. But if he did, that's a very smart idea. Flip it on the Marines now. I will pay you money if you kill the Marines because they're coming after me and got rid of my title. So now go after you. That's really smart if Buggy came up with that idea. Because now that puts the heat back on the Marines, and now you got hunters and everybody else going after Marines now. And they're coming after him. So you got this whole thing where, he's protecting himself because others are going after the Marines that are chasing him. Right? Put bounties on him. Why not? So that's really interesting. I think that's maybe a Crocodile move to come up with that, or maybe Hawkeye did. You know what I'm saying? Buggy, maybe. If he did come up with that idea, that's actually pretty smart, but he is a moron. Um, so and if they, they're saying the world's really changed and we've been here for so long. Uh, everybody's gonna be going about their routes, and of course, kids mentioning to every man for himself. I don't want to hear any excuses from you guys. You know what I'm saying? And Law drops off a copy of the road poneglyph, gives it to Kid, so Kid has a copy of it. Here's my thing: who's gonna read that? Like, Robin is the only one who can read this stuff and know. So how are they gonna know what directions they're gonna go in? They have to find somebody that can read the road poneglyph, right? Like, Robin's not just gonna read it for him and give him the directions. Maybe she does. I don't know. Maybe she read it for Trafalgar Law and they gave him directions. I don't know. So it's just interesting to me. Like, you have it, but what are you gonna do with it, right? So that's really nice. I mean, that's his payment for everything that's going on, and of course they this is just like the one they said they forced from Big Mom, which is really interesting. I think they have that one too, maybe. And of course they want to stay ahead of the scramble. They have to seek out a guy, and this is really interesting here. They have to seek out a guy, and they want to go after the man marked by flames. Right? What the hell does that mean? But they got no leads about this guy. So once he says that, the look on Law's face is like, shit. He's like, he knows about this dude too? Right? He knows about this dude too? And, Robin's like, what? A man marked by flames? What the hell are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, man? And why is that important to these road poneglyphs? Maybe this is someone else that can read the road poneglyphs, right? And give them information. But they have no leads on where this person is. And maybe, again, they're lurking legend. Maybe this is who this is, but we don't know. And of course, Kid doesn't tell them at all. And I feel like he should because, he does owe them. So maybe next chapter he spills the beans here on the man marked by flame because they gave him a road poneglyph. I think Kid should reciprocate and talk about the man marked by flames. Whatever the hell that means. Like, there's a dude out there? Whoa. What's going on there? So they're looking for Yamato, and Yamato is on top of the castle, and just talking to himself, and talking about Yamato's made up their mind, and he's gonna head over to Luffy and the gang and become Kozuki Oden. And basically, it's time for her to leave, or Yamato to leave. And which is really good because Yamato's been trapped here on this island. They need Yamato, by the way, as another strong crewmate. You know what I mean? Because right now we got the big four. They become the big five with Yamato, Jinbei, Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, right? They become the big five. And they need this. And Yamato's a very popular character. And a lot of people like Yamato. I like Yamato. I'm a fan of Yamato as well. Kaido's kid. Really strong. Oni and has a really strong devil fruit. Yamato's a beast. And I can't wait to see Yamato in other battles outside of this. Like, it's going to be awesome. So, I'm a fan of it. And maybe next chapter, Kid talks about the man marked by flames. I mean, he might as well at this goddamn point. Right? He better not leave them hanging, man. Tell them, man, you gave your road poneglyph, bro. Spill the beans. Whatever you're talking about here. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. That's the entire chapter. It's a wonderful chapter here. I loved every second of it. Again, we get some more information about outside of Wano, which is cool. We find out why Buggy became an emperor. He made a group with Crocodile and Mihawk. Who knows how the hell he did that? And then basically they created bounties for killing Marines. So that flips the coin. That flips it on their head, on the Marines' head. So maybe they can chill out a bit, chasing people. Why did Mihawk join Buggy of all people? Why did Crocodile? Like, Buggy's just an idiot and he's a coward. So why, right? And did something happen to Mihawk out there that, maybe he felt in trouble and just needed to go? Who knows? He's the strongest swordsman. What happened? We're going to have to wait and find out. We're on break next week, so we're going to need to wait 2 weeks to see to find out what the hell is going on here and why is Buggy the clown of all people a damn emperor. It's insane. All right, guys, that's it for me. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Like I said, dislike the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Give me your thoughts on this chapter. Tell me why you think Mihawk joined Buggy. What's the deal with Caribou, right? That's another scary thing. He's going to leak information out that Pluton's here to Wano to who. My thoughts are Blackbeard, obviously. And the man marked by flames. Who is this guy? Is he the lurking legend? Granted, I know the lurking legend has probably been mentioned already. It's probably with someone else, but definitely let me know your thoughts down below. Talk to me, and and it helps grow the channel, man. Increase some time. I love talking to the community, so that'd be really cool. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. I'll catch you on the next One Piece chapter in 2 weeks, guys. Have a wonderful, blessed day. See you on the next one. Bye.